Happy winter season. If you live in a warm country, I hate you. No, I'm kidding. I love you all. Um,
Can I just ask anyone who's watching on Instagram, can you just let me thumbs up if you can hear me clearly, or if there's any echo or any silliness going on, just let me know. If that is the case and you want to watch us, you can go to our YouTube channel. But just let me know if you can't hear me, because often I've done whole live streams and you can't hear me and I didn't know. So, it'd be good to know. We're also now live on YouTube and Facebook and the other one. No, that's it, isn't it?
no, that's it.
That is it. I'm not sure there
We
was
added
something else.
something else.
No, no, we didn't. So, hey, Rimpy doing life, episode number 19.
19.
19. I just make up the numbers now and then I let Ree sort it out later when she's trying to fix it up. And Jimmy says you can hear us. Thank you, darling. I hope you're
Yay.
well, lovely.
And
And
Public Demand Rec says we can
that's
hear
Jimmy.
you. Oh,
That's Jimmy.
it is?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
James. Yeah, I wouldn't expect. Oh no, it's not Jimmy. It's not Jimmy. This is
Oh,
James.
oh, hi,
This is
James.
another Jimmy.
Nice to meet you.
Other
So many
James. So many James and
JJs.
Jimmys. Good. So we're here. I mean, let's be honest, both of us are pretty tired right now. I feel a bit like I'm not quite in the zone in the room. What about you? Where are you at right now, Ree?
I'm already like, let's do a meditation today, and I feel like
Okay.
flying. But also, I just want to say, while we do that, before we get started, let's just talk about how we're feeling. Let's just put it out there and then set an intention. And because we
Okay.
talked about intention setting. So
Mm.
let's do that.
So you want to talk first about how you're feeling and then meditate, or
Yeah,
meditate
I just
first?
want to talk about how I'm feeling, and then let's see how that changes.
Okay, go for it. Floor is yours, darling.
I am feeling a little bit overwhelmed with the
Uh-huh.
stuff that I need to do. That's how I'm feeling,
Uh-huh.
just overwhelmed.
Yeah. Ree is overwhelmed. Tell us how you're feeling. If you're going to join us for the meditation and for the show, then let us know how you're feeling. Ree is overwhelmed. Do you know, I'm actually the same. Overwhelmed, anxious, overwhelmed, anxious, which I think is partly because I didn't get enough sleep, or good sleep, but it doesn't matter what the reason is. The first thing is just to be open and say, what is going on for me right now? So for both of us, there's some overwhelm. For me, a little bit of anxiety,
Mm.
a little bit of like, I'm just uncertain, unsettled.
Uncertainty. Yes, that one's coming up.
Uncertainty, yep,
Hmm.
uncertainty. All the feelings. What you guys feeling? Let us know what you guys are feeling. And while you put that into the comments, we shall do a little visualization, which we'd love for you to join us with. We actually haven't done one of these for a while. When we used to start every session pretty much with a breathing or a meditation, and now we just sort of jump in, which is cool. I enjoy doing that too. But yeah, sometimes, especially when you're about to go into something, a meeting, a day, a week, a year, whatever, it's always
A new
helpful to
month.
really, yeah,
A
a new
month.
month, exactly. We've got a new month ahead, and
Lots of
it's
things
always
happening
important
with
to
the
set your intentions of what's a lot of things happening with what.
solar eclipse.
Oh yes,
Ooh.
eclipses coming up. So let's set some intentions. So we're going to do a relaxation meditation. I'd love for you all to join in and close your eyes while you do this. If you're driving, walking down the street, don't do that, please. But if you're somewhere comfortable, I'd love for you to just join in the energy, because even though we're not next to each other, I'm in Rees in Canada, I'm in England, and when you guys are wherever you are, um, you know, our souls, our consciousness, our energy is connected beyond time and space. So we are actually all connected. We are all one. We are all in one energy. So even though we're not next to each other, if we all tune into the same energy together and go through the same process together, we are cultivating something very, very powerful, which is going to help all of us. So let's kick in. So we're going to just spend a couple minutes doing a visualization, and then we're going to end by setting an intention for the session. And you guys, whoever's watching, you can set an intention for your day or for your life or for this month or whatever feels true for you to do. Because when you set an intention, you're telling your mind what you want it to do. Otherwise, it just does its own thing. And usually what it does is nonsense and causes you troubles. And so if you instruct it, then you're going to get much better results. So really, let's just relax for a few minutes. And anyone who's joining in, I just feel like having a little bit of a stretch. So you can have a little bit of a stretch. Just loosen your body, sit down, relax, lie down wherever you are. And we start by taking a few nice, slow, deep breaths in through your nose. And really make sure that breath goes right down into the base of your belly. So balloon your belly out, really push it out, and slowly back out through your nose. And again. And as you're doing these, I want you to really send all your attention inwards, inwards to your awareness, inwards to your breath. Just visualize and feel that breath going through your nose, down through your lungs, into your belly, and back out again. And on every exhale, I just want you to loosen your body a little bit more. Just relax your shoulders. Anywhere you feel tension, with every breath out, just release. And if you feel your mind talking at you, oh, you got stuff to do, oh, I want to think about all this, that's okay. Just gently bring it back. Focus on your breath, focus on your body, and just release everything. And now we're going to move into a little visualization. And what I'd like you to do is imagine that you are a little toddler and you're in a garden or a meadow or some kind of green space. Just imagine whatever comes to you, whatever image, just take that and go with it. And it's like you're seeing all of this for the very first time. You've never been in a place like this, and it's just full of beautiful, wonderful nature. And you're this little toddler looking at it all for the first time, and it's so amazing. I want you to really imagine what it feels like to be that little toddler running around on the grass, like, oh my God, this place is amazing. And there's so many things to see and taste and smell and touch. I mean, don't like start eating the flowers and stuff, but you can if you want. But just imagine the full sensory experience. Imagine looking through the eyes of a toddler and looking around at the greenery, at the sky. Maybe there's some birds. Can you hear them tweeting? And you're just smiling, just grinning from ear to ear at this beautiful natural world. How stunning it is. And you're giggling away, and maybe you're running around and just looking at everything. And I'd like you to imagine looking at the grass. Look really closely at a blade of grass and just enjoy this beautiful, vibrant green color. Maybe reach out and touch it. What does it feel like? This stunning little blade of grass. And as you turn your head slightly, you're going to see some flowers. Maybe white flowers, daisies, pink, purple, blue, yellow, little buttercups, daffodils, whatever comes to you. And you're just like, wow, look at these amazing colors. And again, just reach out your little toddler hand and touch a flower. Touch the petals, feel how soft they are, how light, how beautiful. And maybe smell that flower. What do you smell? Take a big, deep breath of that beautiful scent. Imagine you can smell it. And then I'd like you to just lie down on the grass. Lie down, relaxed, and feel the warm sun on your skin. Imagine that you can imagine what it feels like to have warm sun bathing your skin, looking up at this beautiful blue sky, maybe a few fluffy white clouds. And as you just lie there and relax, I'd like you to imagine that you're going to start floating up off the ground, just very gently, very safely. Everything here is very, very safe. And it's like you're becoming light, like a feather, like a bubble, and you're completely weightless. and you're floating up, 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 up. And just imagine, what does it feel like to be totally empty and weightless, like a vessel of pure consciousness? And you're floating up gently like a little butterfly, so light. And you continue going up and just keep rising, rising gently, effortlessly until you pop out of the atmosphere. And now you're looking down on this beautiful planet, all the colors, this wonderful globe that we call home. And now I'd like you to look around you at the universe, every direction, stars, galaxies, colors, sparkles. And it's huge. It's just huge. And I just want you to soak in that feeling. And you're floating and you're weightless. And I want you to realize that all this universe, all this wisdom, all knowledge, all time, all space is part of you. Imagine you're just stretched out across the whole universe, no separation, and you're floating and you're weightless and you are one, pure energy, pure consciousness. And as you bask in that feeling of pure space, you're just going to imagine that you're going to start glowing brighter and brighter, yellow, gold, white, whatever colors come to you. Pay attention what color does come to you when you think about glowing. And you're just going to turn into this beautiful glowing ball like a star. Imagine your entire being glowing so powerfully with this light, high frequency, high vibration, powerful, spacious light. And as you're glowing, you're going to start moving back down through the atmosphere of the planet, gently back down. And as you're coming down to the earth, you're going to see below you a circle on the ground where you're going to land. I'd like you in your mind's eye just to draw around that circle, make it really solid and strong. And that circle has a meaning, and that meaning is your intention. And you can call it your intention for the day, for the month, for your life. Ree and I are going to call it the intention for this session. And you're going to keep floating down, and then you're going to land in that circle or go through it like a hoop or whatever works for you. And as you enter that circle, you're going to receive, set the intention to receive from your higher self, what is my intention? And just go with whatever comes to you, images, words, just streams of consciousness, sounds, feelings, sensations, and just go with it and unravel it, unpick it, follow it, and see what's obvious to me about my intention. So Ree, when you're ready, do you want to go first and see what's your intention for this session?
I'm still landing.
Go for it.
I haven't landed in my circle yet.
Oh, okay. You carry on floating. I'll
I'm
see
coming
what
down.
I'm. That's all right. I'm gonna go for it if that's all right.
Hmm.
My intention for this session is I get the word strength. I get the word strength and sovereignty in my power and my being as a consciousness, as a life, as an expression of God. I just get the word strength, power. So, my intention for this session is to embody my own strength and power, to support Ree in embodying her strength and power, and to also convey the message to anyone who ever watches this that you are also very strong and very, very, very powerful. That's what I'm getting.
I like that. I'm getting. It's so clear, but I'm I'm getting be present, presence, um, present in every single moment of every single day. But definitely, I want to set the intention to be present here
Mm.
in my entirety for everyone, for Pinky, for myself, and like literally not to care about anything else I have to do for the day or for the week. And let me tell you, that list is long, and that's probably where the uncertainty and anxiety and overwhelm is coming from. And so I'm really just getting present
Mm.
of just how I was, so because like I was floating, man. I was floating, and it was very powerful. And can I just can I just say I ate I ate the roses.
Go for it.
I ate the
Did you eat
roses.
it?
I just want to say I ate the roses. Um, yeah, I did.
I love it. Good.
I ate the roses, and
Good.
yeah, yeah. As I say that, I get a message telling me I put my bed up for sale, everyone, and I just get a message saying that somebody wants to buy it, and I threw it out last night. So just I just want to be present right
Be
now and
present.
not worry about, oh my God, should I go pick up the pieces?
Mm,
But no, just really
mm,
being present. I think that's kind of been a theme ongoing for me in the last couple of days as well. And so it's just come very clear, just being in that moment where nothing else matters.
mm,
Nothing else matters. Nothing but the present moment of your surroundings, what's around you, what you want to do right now, and
mm,
what you're doing right now, to be the person that you are now, which you might be in your vision and in your goal.
mm,
But remembering that you're not trying to get anywhere,
mm.
you're already there. You are it. Um, you are there, like as a person, and I'm here. So yeah, I'm here. I want to be present.
Yeah, can I just riff off that as well? Because
Mm.
it really adds to what I saw. Because your strength and your power is only ever in the present moment. You cannot have your strength and power in the past or something that happened even 2 minutes ago. You cannot have your strength and power in the future that hasn't occurred yet. If you want your strength and your power, you have to be present. It's right here, it's right now. It's what you're focused on right now. It's your energy right now, your emotions right now, your intention right now, your behavior right now, your body right now. Every essence of your power can only be in every single right now moment, and what you choose to do in that moment and harnessing that energy, like the magicians that we are, bringing it down, this massive energy of the universe that we're part of, and honing it down and pinpoint focus into this present moment. And it's like that laser pointed focus. That's where your power is. You cannot have power in something that hasn't yet happened, or next year. You can't wait for your power to come. When in next year, then I'll be powerful and strong. In next week, when this thing happens, I'll be powerful and strong. When I was little, I was powerful and strong, and now I'm not. No, right here, right now, presence is strength and power, all one thing. That is where it comes in. So the ability to be present. And when you're present, you become aware. What's going on for me? Honestly, what am I feeling? What am I thinking? What's my focus on? What is the scenario around me? What decisions do I want to make? What are my intentions? All of those things can come into clear focus when you're right here, right now with them, not in the past in your mind, not worrying about something else over there, blah, 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 blah. Presence, awareness, clarity, strength, power, all happens right here, right now. And I think that that's all you can deal with as well, right? Because you can't deal with tomorrow. I can't deal with something that isn't here yet. I can't deal with yesterday because it's already not gone. I can only do what I can do right in this very moment. And again, that is where your strength and your power is. So I'm gonna just come back. Hello, and
Hi.
and
I got something to add to that because I had to
please
close my
do
eyes and go back. I was just listening, and
go for it. Go for it.
excuse me. You're so right. And something similar we've talked about before, but like being in your strength and power right now, but also it creates that energy, right? With that awareness, you're creating that present moment energy. You're creating that ripple effect that you see that kind of goes and vibrates into your past and into your future. But without being in the present, there is no ripple effect. There is no energy being created for the future.
Mm,
And the other thing is, if you're thinking about the future, or whether it's an hour into the future, whether it's 3 days into the future, whether it's next year, which is right around the corner, right? You become in that energy, and your energy could be, a worry. It could be excitement. It could be anything, right? But that's not true. It's not your truth, because then you're not in your moment, and you're not in the emotion of now, and you're not you're not you're not present, which means
Mm.
you're how do I explain this? If you're in the energy of the future,
Mm-hmm.
right? And there's something that you need to do now, then the energy isn't going to match what your
Mm-hmm.
person is in this moment, because you exist in this moment in all
Mm.
of time and space. You also
Mm.
exist in that moment. You are the same person. But in order for you to really create and be in the next moment, you have to embrace your power now, your strength now,
Mm.
your emotion, your energy now. Does that make sense? I
Mm.
just
Mm.
I feel it more than I am explaining it right now, but
No, it does. It does. And I love what your analogy of the ripple effect, right? So like the pebble going into the water, that's you now. You're the pebble, and that ripple effect is happening, and it is going across all time, all space.
Hmm.
But the pebble is what you are. So yeah, what is your focus now? What is your intention now? Because that is how you affect the future, and so on, and even heal and cleanse and sort of jig the past even. So yeah, being present, absolutely. I love the ripple effect analogy. I just think that's so
Hmm.
powerful, because we're energetic beings, right? We're thinking we're bodies and we've got this physical world. Yeah, sure we are, but the root of what we are is energy. So if you see everything as energy, everything about you is energy. Your mind, your thoughts, your emotions, it's all energy. Your body is energetic. So you are an antenna. You are constantly, so that ripple is your own energy waves that is constantly coming off you day, night, and you can't stop it. And it is affecting the things that are around you as well. So paying attention to your energy, which again you can only do in the present moment. I can't work on my energy tomorrow and fix it for tomorrow. I can only do it now. And so a question comes up for me, Ree, that I'd love you to just delve into. What stops you being in the present moment?
Being in every other moment. You know what it is?
Mm.
It just comes to me is control.
Mm.
Control really comes to me, because if I don't have a plan, and again, it's based on a long 30 plus years of and generations, actually, generations of just it going into our genetics, right? Just it's being put into our cells.
Mm.
And this is something that I've been kind of thinking a lot about, of just, they talk about, like, being, this runs in the family, and it's this being passed down through generations of, like, trauma being passed down, or health issues and all that stuff. And it really is, because if our cells, what we've talked about, store energy, store memory, they have their own memory, then we are, of course, passing down what we feel. And if we don't control what we're going to do, if we don't have a plan, then ultimately we're going to fail. And what does failure lead to? It leads to it leads to or sorry, what leads to failure? Fear.
Mm.
Fear, right? Fear of failure is huge. Fear of failure is what we live off of. It's what we live because of. We live our lives based on fear of failure. And so if you don't have a plan of, how am I going to move those mattresses, or what am I going to do tomorrow, or what am I going to eat for lunch, or oh my God, I've got laundry, oh my God, I've got a project due. And, like, if you're living in the moment of fear, or I've got a party coming, like, I'm so excited, but really right now you might be going through a really hard time. But
Mm.
instead of living that really hard time and living through that, which is,
Mm.
there's different things that come up. If you're going through a hard time, you're not giving yourself the time to heal, because you're living in the future. But
Mhm.
if you're going through something, if you're going through a really great time right now, and you're living in anxiety, then you don't even notice that great time. You don't notice the fact that you are just at peace right now, because everything in this moment is
Mm.
perfect. And
Mm.
you are exactly where you need to be. And you have to embrace that, because if you don't embrace that, then you're giving your control away. You're giving into that fear of the
Mm.
unknown, and you're trying to control the unknown, which, like, how
That
ridiculous.
Yeah, no, that's the word that comes to me when you mentioned that word control, which I think is exactly what it is we're not okay with the unknown. But remember, one of the lines from the training that we did, it always stuck with me, is the unknown is home. You come from the unknown. Where you come from is the mass expanse of pure consciousness and energy, as far as we know. That is the unknown. It's just the void, the blank, the whatever it is, I don't know. But it's the unknown, and
Unknown.
that's what we come from. And but we're so afraid of it in our little human forms. That's why you need to control. You need to control what's going to happen. And when you're living in this need to control, you have no faith, you have no grace. And I don't say that in a bad way to anyone, because I do it all the time. That's my issue too, right? It was many people's issues, but we do it in different ways. But when you want to control, I need to know what's going to happen tomorrow. I need to know a plan. I need to figure everything out. I have to have control over other people and how they're going to respond to me, and I have to control over what's going to happen when. It's like you say, it's all rooted in fear,
Mm,
because you can't handle what if when you need to do your mattresses something happens that you didn't plan for. It's almost like you don't trust that you will have the capability to deal with
mm.
it if it happens.
I'm
You don't
taking my own
trust
power
yourself.
away. I'm taking my
Exactly.
own power away.
You don't trust that you are a resourceful, powerful being who, in any given moment, can access whatever knowledge and wisdom is required to get through any challenge. So you have to predict it, plan for it, control it, stop it from happening, avoid any risks. But because you don't realize how powerful you are. Because how powerful you are is that no matter what gets thrown in your face, if you're present, you're connected to all wisdom, all time, all space, you will receive in that moment exactly what you need to do. But you don't trust that you have that power in you, which is why you need to control everything. If you trusted that you were that powerful, you would just wake up every day and float on through and say, come on, whatever comes at me, I can receive in that moment whatever I need to do in that moment. I don't need to plan or prepare for anything, because all the wisdom is always there for me in every moment. And then you let go of the need to control, because you know that in every step, in every breath, in every day, you're always connected to your true strength and power, which is the ability to handle whatever comes from the unknown that's getting thrown at you and coming into you and coming into your world. But you don't realize you have that power, which is why you need to control circumstances and situations and planning and blah, blah, blah. And like you say, you give all the power outside because you didn't realize that actually it's all within you. You can deal with whatever comes.
And I think two things happen as a result of that.
Mm,
I think two things that are very obvious happen that are not so obvious at times is
mm,
one, you're obviously not living your truth, because if you're always in the need to control and plan and do what needs to happen, then how are you surrendering to yourself, to the universe, to the things that are meant to happen, you know? Um, and in a way, I mean, it's such a catch 22, right? Because you're like, no, but I'm going to control this because I need this to happen and I have the power to do this, but it's coming from a place of ego instead of a place of truth, where if you don't stop the control, the fear, there is absolutely no room for your truth to emerge, because all
mm,
all that you're doing is just pushing it lower, going, no, I know what I'm doing and I'm going to do this, and this is what I'm going to create from a place, because I need to get that next job, or I need to do whatever it is, I need to
mm,
travel, and you're literally suppressing your truth. So that's one
mm.
thing. The second thing
I
is
just sorry, I just need to say that one line again
mm,
because it hit me deep. You're shit. I've forgotten what it was, but you just said it. Don't lose what you were about to say. But it was just that thing of you are you are suppressing your truth. You're not allowing your truth to emerge because
mm.
you're so busy clinging on, trying to control everything that it can't even come in. Sorry, I just it hit me. Carry
Yeah,
on,
no, no,
carry
no.
on.
I made notes. That's okay.
Oh, good, good.
and
I've had my eyes closed this whole time, so hi everyone. We'll read your comments in a minute, but
and the
but no.
second the second thing as a result of that, which is
Mm,
again, it's obvious when you become aware, but it's not so obvious, is that if you're in the constant need to control something,
mm,
it goes back to what you said, which is, you're telling yourself that I'm not strong, I'm not powerful, I'm not capable, I'm not worthy, I'm not all of these things,
mm,
whatever that stems from, that's deeper rooted. But you're telling your subconscious that
mm.
without practice, or without a plan, I will fail.
Mm,
So you're actually giving that negative message to your subconscious mind, which I think is so powerful, that you're
mm,
going, look, if I don't go, it's different. It's such a thin line. Like, it's not like saying, hey, if I don't have cauliflower, I can't make cauliflower. Well, obviously, right? Like, you need to buy cauliflower, versus being like, if I don't look up a recipe, have cauliflower ready, go buy it right now, go to the store, think about all of those things of how I'm going to get the cauliflower, right? The how,
Mm, mm,
which is what our ego does, versus just going, I need cauliflower, and
mm,
just making it simple. We overcomplicate, overanalyze, overplan, overthink, you know, all of these things to just get to the freaking, I don't know why I chose cauliflower, but to get to the freaking cauliflower, that you're telling yourself
mm,
that basically if you don't have cauliflower, you
mm,
can't eat anything else. There is nothing else in this world that
mm,
exists that will
mhm,
feed you, because the reason you're getting the cauliflower is to feel full.
mm.
I'm going off of this, but the reason you get the
But,
cauliflower is to feel full, but you're telling yourself that unless I have the cauliflower,
uh,
that I will never feel full. I will never
yeah,
be
and
satisfied.
the universe might be like, hey, I've got cucumbers, I've got strawberries, I've got carrots, I've got bread, I've got this, I've got a gourmet meal, and you can't see that because you're like, no, I'm doing my cauliflower. I've got a
And now
plan for the cauliflower.
you're stuck on the cauliflower, right? You're stuck on the
Yeah.
cauliflower and every bit of anxiety and stress that comes with now getting this damn cauliflower,
Mm-hmm.
which, you know what, if you just stop for a second and go, oh wow, there's
Mm,
some amazing strawberries. I don't know, there's some amazing bok
mm,
choy I had the other day. It
mm,
was so good.
mm.
Whatever it is, you won't notice any of that. You won't see it
So
because you're tunnel visioned now, and your
exactly.
subconscious mind is
Yeah.
living off and reliving. And imagine doing that every
Mm,
single day, or almost every single day that you wake up.
yeah.
What do you think is going to happen in 20 years, in 15 years, in 20 years, in 30 years, in 40 years?
Mm,
You are going to program yourself
mm-hmm.
to only live that way, and then believe that that's the only way of living. And without
Yeah.
that, there's no, like,
Yeah.
you're on a chase.
And it's this narrow little path of me controlling what I think, and I have to make everything happen, and I've got to know, and I can only see these things, and these are the things. And around you is this expanse of possibility from the unknown. And like you said earlier, you've cut yourself off from that. All the growth, all the possibility, all the amazing experiences that you don't even know exist yet, you cannot receive them because you've made your decision that no, I know how to do this, and I have to do it this way, and I have to control it, and I have to plan it, and you've boxed yourself in all again through that. And again, you're not present with the possibility of the moment that could be endless. You're only present, well, you're not even present, you're fixated in your head with your plan of how it's going to work, like this and this and this and this, cauliflower, cauliflower, cauliflower. You can't see what else is out there. And that is how I think most people live, and many of us do all the time still, because it's part of the human condition. But really, that ability to get out of that box, break down those walls, get rid of that path that you've set out for yourself, and just, there's a Van Gogh line which says something along the lines of, um, the unbeaten path, or the beaten track has had many people walk on it, but no flowers grow there. But when you go off the track into the muddy terrain where you don't know, you've never been, not many people go there. Now you're going to see the flowers. Now you're going to see the magic. Now you're going to see the possibility. Now you're going to see the stuff that you didn't even know existed. But you have to be willing to get off your control, off your idea of how it should be and what it should be. Let go of that fear and actually just open up like a flower and be like, I'm basking in the universe. I'm basking in the unknown. I'm basking in the possibility. I'm here. I'm anchored in this moment. And I allow myself to receive in every moment any manner of possibilities that exist that I can't quite see with my physical eyes yet, but they're there. And I allow myself to receive the strawberries, the cucumber, this, whatever, whatever. And that is a whole different way of living. And again, that's something you do here now in the present moment. And
The word surrender comes to mind when we
mm,
talk about it, right? The path to enlightenment is detachment and surrendering to the universe, right?
mm,
And until you surrender, how can you even allow for energies to work? Because energies are a thing.
mm.
I think just stop for a second to see if we have any comments, because we've got like
Ah,
30 minutes.
sorry. Yeah, sorry. Hey, hi, peeps. We've got some join. I don't know if anyone is still here because I've been, I don't know how long I've been going. Sorry, darlings. I'm doing Instagram. Neela's got a smile. Hello, lovely. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, all of you darlings. Ree, also, can you try something on your
Mm,
screen on the right hand side somewhere? Because there's a bit where you can comment to me.
mm,
Can you see all comments? There's a little drop down.
I
All
cannot.
destinations? Oh, you can't? Okay. I did this with
No.
someone else the other day and they actually could see all the comments because then you could see the ones that are coming through here too. Auntie's here. Hello. Cool. Happy
Oh,
good morning. Hello, Auntie. She's exercising and energizing. I like it. I like it. Very
hi,
good.
Mom.
She's next door. Auntie's intention is to accomplish the task to travel. Oh, yes. Well, good luck with that. Enjoy that. That's going to be great. Traveling happening there, which is good. How's
Indeed.
everyone on Instagram? Thank you so much for joining us. Did you receive anything from whatever we just said, which I don't remember what it was, but I enjoyed it. I felt it. I felt like it went inside me somewhere, and I received something from that. Um, but yeah,
Hmm.
strength, presence, unknown. Stop trying to control, being in the present moment, the possibilities that are available to you when you do that, surrender to the universe. I love all of this stuff. It's my favorite stuff. It is also the stuff that I struggle to do because, like everybody, I have an ego. I have a mind. I have a body. I have a mind that thinks that I am Pinky and I must control everything and I must make everything happen the way I want it to. Otherwise, it's all going to fail. And every time I do that, I cut myself off from immense possibility because we live in a universe of, I believe, of infinite possibility. Auntie says to be in the moment, I manage and adjust to the priority. Mm. So, whatever you're dealing with right there and then, you just manage what's there right in front of you there and then. And you make your priority, you make your intention, and you work with that rather than worrying about what's next, then what, then what, then what, then what. Yeah, good. Ree, where do you want to go with this?
Hmm. A lot was coming up. You know what? It's something I think we talked about, and I just want to on the same topic of energies, right?
Mm,
Something I recently learned
mm,
from my recently pregnant, now with a newborn friend.
mm-hmm,
I didn't get to do any more research on this, but a woman lactates
mm-hmm,
when her baby cries
mm,
because her body responds to the cry of the baby,
mm,
not just in the same room, in places like you could be miles from each other.
mm,
And a mom would be like, oh crap, what's going on? And I've heard stories, and these are people that are, I wouldn't say necessarily on, the energy spiritual path, and they're going, what's going on? This is stuff like
mm,
after becoming a mom, you kind of, you realize these, you start noticing these things, and it's wild. It's wild. But just from that, if that's what happens when a baby who's attached to its mom, starts to cry,
mm,
um, and the way animals and different things respond to each other in energies, right? Like the fur, what is it? The fur and the one that just closes when you touch it, or even like
mm,
sometimes go near it, and it's just Reiki healing, which is done.
mm.
It's not done by actually touching; it's done through energy. just think just think of the energy of the things that are surrounding you, of the people that are surrounding you, of the thoughts that are surrounding you, which are so real, and how much weight they carry. It's like people don't realize that. And yeah, that's just it's mind-blowing.
I want to go on that, but I'm getting on Instagram, I'm getting you as frozen. I don't
i'm
know if
getting
that's from my end. Am I
I'm
frozen on
getting
your end?
You're frozen on my end.
Oh, Jesus. I don't
Can
know what's
someone
going
tell
on.
us who is frozen?
Although if it's all frozen, we won't even be getting no comments. But if you are seeing either of us as frozen on Instagram, do let us know.
Oh, it says video paused.
Oh,
I just got from Pam.
oh, okay. I think we're back. I think we're back.
I think we're back.
Sorry, I don't know how long that was going on for, by the way. Do apologize. But thanks for hanging in there if it went on for a while. But I love what you're saying. And what that makes me think of is this thing called quantum entanglement, which is basically that you have basically, I think it's subatomic particles that are connected. So if you turn one particle on this side of the universe, the one related to it on the other side of the universe turns on the
Yeah,
other side of the universe. It's like
yeah.
they're all connected, so we're all connected. Everything is connected, and everything you're
Gravity,
doing,
energy, magnetism, like,
it's just one big old soup of quantum stuff. And
oof.
energy is real, man. Energy is
Energy is
real.
real. Energy is so real. And that's why I think being in the present moment, something we talked
Mm,
about is, unless you are in the energy of right now, there is no way that you're going to create,
mm,
because you can't be in that energy without being in this energy. You can't create that
mm,
ripple effect. That ripple effect actually is the other part of my unalome tattoo.
mm.
And it's a wave, and it's got 3 drops, which represent the past, the present, the future,
Mhm,
right? And the present is the actual ripple. And without the vibration of the current, which is where you need to be, that's where the vibration is happening in your current
mm,
moment, right?
mm,
And that causes and stems from right now. And the past
yeah.
and the future don't actually, in that sense, matter,
Mm.
because
Or
what you're
even
creating,
exist
or even
technically. But I
exist,
mean, well, that's another conversation.
for
But
for another 45 minute, maybe 3 hour episode. But excuse me.
it's all right.
But within that vibration, I forgot my train of thought, but I feel like being in that energy of now, right? Because if you're
Mm,
in the energy of where you want to be later,
mm,
you're never
mm,
going to, never is a strong word, but it's been very, very difficult to
mm,
reach the path of enlightenment, to reach the
mm,
true path of your life, to really
mm.
live
Because you're not
your
present.
true
Yeah.
nature. What
Mm,
are you living? If you're not living, oh my God, you said it. If
mm.
you're not present, where are you living?
Shit, say that again.
If you're not present, where are you living?
Answer me that, peeps.
Where, like,
If you're
if,
not present, where
if
are
you're
you
not here
living?
now, right?
Where are you?
Where are you living? That's deep.
That's good. I like that.
Where, like, but
That I want to ponder that. So if you're not present, where are you living? Well, I'm in my head. I'm in
mm,
my imagination, which is either looking at the past or the future that doesn't exist, but not even the future, but my imaginations about the future, which I'm making up in my head because I don't actually know what the future is going to look like because I don't know. So I'm living in an illusion in my own mind that is not real. Even a memory is it's gone. It's just a picture and a experience that I still have in my brain. So I'm basically, it's like I'm looking at photo albums and watching movies, and I'm just living in that. I'm not here in the physical experience, but I am still alive.
you're
So my
alive.
energy is still there. I can't not be creating energy, but what am I creating energy of? Whatever I'm imagining. But the thing is, like, imagination obviously is very powerful. I heard this thing, imagination is the language of God. So it's powerful when you do like visualizations and things. But I think there's that subtle difference between am I doing it consciously or unconsciously? Like if I'm consciously choosing to visualize something that I want to create, that's cool. That's powerful because I think you also do that from a place of real intention and presence and focus. But if I'm just sitting here daydreaming about what could happen, what couldn't happen, fantasizing, worrying about the past, reliving it in my head, that's a sort of unconscious I'm not really here. Escapism, I think. I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever.
It does. Check this out, though. Check this out.
Mm,
Let me boggle your mind even a bit further, because I
mm,
am so like, what the f? Wow.
mm,
So if you're not living in the present moment, where are you
mm,
living, right? Sure, you
mm,
might be living in your head, you might be living in the future. Which, if
mhm,
you're living in your head, processing, you're either living in the past or the future. If you're not living
mhm,
here, you're
mm,
living in the past or future. Now, imagination, like you said, is a thin line between, I imagine myself on a beach, and then
mhm,
I really bask in that visualization and that energy of being on the beach and what that means to me. And that's part of my creation of, like,
mhm,
I want to be there, but then you come back
mm,
to your current reality. right?
Yeah.
Now, in your current reality, if you're sitting here going, oh, why didn't things work out in that relationship? Versus, again, versus, what's the word? Reflecting, right?
Mhm.
There's reflection, and
Mhm.
then there's the whys and the whats and the ego, right? Of why didn't it work
Mm.
out? What did I do wrong? Replaying it over and over and over in your head. People replay presentations over and over again, and like
Mm.
multiple times. It's like, go back, um, analyze maybe once, be like, hey, this is what I feel like I did wrong. Write it down, and then accept that and move forward, right? Because
Mm.
that still brings you back to your current reality.
Mm.
However,
Mm.
if you're not living now, then you haven't actually lived a single day of your life. You haven't
Mm.
actually lived a moment of your life, like physically lived,
Mm.
because, they say live for the moment, right? Live in the
Mm.
moment, whatever it is. But
Mm.
if you are constantly planning your future, constantly, not even reflecting, but constantly dwelling on your past,
Mhm.
then you're not here now.
You're not.
And now eventually becomes your past.
Mhm.
And if now becomes your past, then
Mm.
you haven't existed in the now at any moment ever, which means that you haven't lived. Do you get that?
Yeah, yeah, and you've lived your entire life in your own head in some illusion, or in mirage, in some imagery, in some movie that you're replaying or creating or whatever. But
You
yeah,
haven't
you've never
lived.
actually been
You
here. You
have
haven't lived here.
witnessed. You haven't
Yeah,
even lived your life in that
no.
moment. You've
And
witnessed it.
to
You
me, it's
become a witness of it.
yeah, and the word it's about the consciousness. Like when you're here and conscious and present in what you're doing in your current reality, what am I feeling? What am I experiencing? What's going on? What's my intention? What's my energy? That's being conscious and aware and awake and alive in this moment versus unconscious, just daydream, whatever, whatever, whatever. And yeah, I think most people do just spend their lives going through a bit of an unconscious daydream, and they're sort of doing the motions in the physical world, but are
Mm.
they really present
Living.
and aware and living? Are they actually embodying and experiencing everything right now? Or are they only half here? Because their body's moving about, but their mind's off over there, their mind's off over there, whatever, whatever, whatever. And again, like when we talked about energy, then your energy, if you're living like that, must be very scattered and messy and incoherent because your body is here creating a certain frequency. Part of your mind is over there creating another frequency. Another part of your brain is thinking about something else, another bit of a frequency. And your energy is going to be all muffled all over the place. So no
We're
wonder
giving.
you're not going to attract or create with coherence and force, not force, focus, because your energy is all over the place. So how else can you bring the energy into one place other than being present here now in your current reality? Because that's where you can bring everything in and say, okay, what's going on right now, right here, right now,
Mm.
and
And
become
that is.
conscious. And that's when you're now the pebble goes into the water. Now you create a new ripple from focus and presence, rather than before it's almost like 10 little pebbles thrown in at once, going all ripples all over the place, and they're all crashing into each other. And then that's your energy field, and then that's what you create in your life. And then you think, oh, why is everything so messy? Oh, why is everything? And then it just draws you more and more into this messy, bubbly mass of ripples that are all going in all directions. So it's it's the opposite of that, really, which is your power is being present, one focus, one presence, one here, whatever, one pebble. And it's like now, from my central point of focus, I create my one ripple, my powerful ripple of energy that's going to
Mm.
go out and spread and spread and spread and spread.
And that
Mm,
in itself is powerful, because the one ripple, like you
mm,
said, you throw one pebble and you get this huge ripple. You see it. It's clear.
mm-hmm,
You throw 10 pebbles. Have you ever tried throwing 10 pebbles at a time, or even three?
mm,
If they're close by each other, they all go bloop, bloop, bloop. And
mm,
literally, it's not like the ripples overlap each other. They actually
mm,
cancel each other out,
mm,
right? The ripples actually
mm.
stop the energy flow of other ripples because there's
Do you
nowhere to
know?
go.
Sorry, I have to. Ah, shit, because this was coming up. This is coming up recently, and it's just like, oh, this is so clearly the lesson that universe wants me to get right now. Because the same conversation came up with someone the other day, and she learned about this. The word that's being used is by Robert Fritz is conflicting dynamics. or competing dynamics. And it just really rings through for like my life. It's like I've got 10 different projects on the go at once. I'm chucking 10 different little pebbles in, and they're all just canceling each other out and messing up. No wonder I'm not coherently focused and moving and creating the ripple that I want and the energetic experience that I want and the impact that I want, because I'm throwing 10 pebbles. That's exactly what it is. So I'm doing it in my work, I'm doing it in my life, and even from a good place, because I'm doing it from a point of I want to create all these things. It sounds really great, but actually, from an energetic point of view, I'm just creating more noise, more confliction, more competition in my own energy field, more mess in my own energy field. So nothing can really ripple out because I'm doing all these little pebbles. Yeah, shit.
Mm. But
Mm.
but we're giving the universe mixed signals, right? So we're sitting here
Mhm.
making affirmations and manifestations, or we think we are, and we've talked
Mm.
about the negative ones, but now we're
Mm.
thinking, okay, well, I'm making them, but then I'm like also putting out this other energy of being present, past, and future, and the
Mm.
universe is going, wait,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
What do
It's
you
like
do? What do you? Where you at? Where you
it's
at?
like a girl.
Mm.
It's like I want cauliflower, but I want cucumber, but I want
But last week I
you
had
know,
cake, so I'm thinking about the cake now, and I'm like,
I'm like, yeah, and the universe is like, all right, shut the f up and figure your shit. It's not even about figure your shit out. It's just stop, and it goes
mm,
back to things we've talked about, and be
mm,
present, be
mm-hmm,
in the moment. You
mm.
know.
And if you tune into that, that's where you access your intuition and your true
Mm.
guidance, because you can't get that in the past or the future either. And
Yeah.
also, when you get that, then your intuition is going to say, actually, I just want the cucumber right now. Because there's only other parts of your mind, oh, I want this and I want that. It just says, I want a cucumber. That's it. It's very simple. When you're present and you connect to that, the answers tend to be very obvious, very simple, very clean. It's the one pebble drop done. And so, but you can only access that when you become very, very present.
And to be present,
Um,
there's almost a stillness that goes with it, right? There is a
mm,
stillness that comes with being present. And an example came up when you were talking, which is, do you, like, I don't know if you do this, but there's times when I'm driving, right? Which is, the same, what did you say? We're robotically doing things that we're so
yeah.
used to doing,
Yeah, we're
right?
not consciously
We're
doing
not
it.
consciously doing them. And so I'm driving, and I know especially like the routes that, and when you're not looking for direction and you're driving the same route to work or to a place, there's times when I look away,
Mm,
whether it's at my phone, which is, not in my hands anymore because they're a big fine, at changing the music, at the title of a song, at something outside the window because it's
mm,
beautiful, whatever it might be. But I leave that present moment of driving, which
mm,
requires all my attention, right? Imagine driving without being present,
mm,
right? But even for that moment when you
mm,
leave, there's times when I come back and go, oh
mm,
shit, like I feel like I looked away for way too long. Like, would I even have caught something in my peripheral? Like, I actually have that conversation with myself because I'm aware that
mm,
happened, right?
mm.
Some people aren't. When accidents happen and things happen, they're like they're off somewhere else. Their mind
Yeah.
isn't there. So
Mm,
imagine driving without being present. Can you do that? Can you safely do that every single day, every single time? You can't. You
no,
really can't. So
no.
imagine that we are now living our entire life, which is, I'd say, a lot more important than driving a damn car,
Mm,
not being present. Imagine not being present when you are operating the vehicle of your life.
mm,
Imagine that. I
mm,
like that. Imagine
mm,
not being present, operating the vehicle of your life. Your life is a vehicle and you're driving it. But
and then
instead,
that is literally what is happening.
you're staring out the window.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you're crashing into a bunch of shit. You're facing
Yeah.
obstacles, anxiety, stress, depression,
Mm, mm,
all this stuff that you're going through because you're looking out the damn window or you're on your phone or you're whatever the
mm,
distraction is. But you're
mm,
not driving your vehicle because you
mhm.
can't drive it without being present.
Without being present.
And
Absolutely.
I'm just gonna drop the mic because that was just
I love it. We've been an hour already.
yeah.
Hello, people on Instagram. Thank you for joining, darlings. I've got a few more comments coming from Auntie. She said, uh, if you are not living, you are dead.
It's true though, right? If you're You're still alive,
She
but
says it
what,
straight how it is. If you're not living, you're dead. I
you
love her.
know,
It's true. A lot of people are fearful of living. They're all so uh there's this whole thing, like people are so scared to die, but they don't actually live. And again, what is that fear of death? It's the fear of what could happen in the future. It's a fear of something that might happen. So again, you're not here and you're not actually living because you're so worried about,
you're actually living in the death. You are dead.
right? You
And
are dead.
people are like, he's dead inside. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, probably because he's not living or she's
Because
not
not
living.
living, not living. You are energy force. You're meant to be
Like,
expanding, creating, moving. And at the minute you stop doing that, because you're just, oh, I'm scared of this. Oh, so I'm worrying about, and you're not living. You're
but
dead. You stagnate. You
every
stagnate.
little thing though, like let's just take some examples, right? Let's shoot some examples out. So for
Mm,
me,
mm,
I love, in the winter, I love hot showers. I don't know who, like, sometimes I do the little Hoff trick and put it on cold, but it's
yeah.
terrible in the winter. But um, being there,
Mm,
instead of going, what am I gonna like? And there are, I can honestly say
mm,
that there's probably been more times of me
mm,
thinking of what I'm going to do after my shower or what I need to do or what the time is or how I'm rushing than I'm actually present in that shower, enjoying that moment of cleansing, of
yeah.
the water touching my skin, you know, whatever it might be, right? Or
Mm,
I'll say this, using the bathroom.
mm,
When I go to the washroom at times, I take my phone in. People take a book in. There's books
mm,
made for toilet reading, right? And but I'm this is your body being
mm,
present, being
mm.
what, and that's the thing. My point is, it can be so simple, so subtle. Like, do you have an example of where things that are just so simple of everyday life that we're just not present, or you're not present in it?
I mean, I'm barely present in my whole entire existence. That's my entire life. I'm in my head. I live in my head. This is how I roll. I live in my head. I live
No,
in
you're present
my.
when there's a puppy around. When there's a
Oh
puppy
yes,
around,
I'm very present.
right?
I'm
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 telling you.
very present when there's a puppy. I'm very present when I'm doing my creative work, when I'm teaching, anything like that. If I'm creating a piece of content and it's coming from that place, then I'm very present. But yeah, the day-to-day stuff. One of my really bad habits that I've just picked up again, which is really not cool, is picking up my phone as soon as I wake up.
Mm.
And that's not cool. Like I did stop doing that for a long time and I've started doing it again. And again, it immediately sucks all my presence into the phone, into this virtual reality and scrolling. And so I'm not present. I'm not present in that moment of rising in the morning and
How do
starting
you
my day.
feel? I was
Yeah,
going
how do I
through, like,
feel? What I'm not
milk
there. And
tastes
me, as soon as I
weird.
open my eyes, I go on my phone and I'm not present. And it's yeah, that kind of thing. But all the time, day to day, when I eat, I don't eat consciously. I'm drinking my tea. I'm not actually like sitting there and really experiencing it or enjoying it. I'm just like, I've got to do it to get to the next thing. I've just got to do it. And again, it's unconscious, right? Everything is unconscious.
and
Um,
and we and we and
Nina
we give
says
ourselves
yes.
we give ourselves that time to be present when we remember. We've talked about the we're taking a vacation, we're taking a break, so then it's like, oh, this beach is so amazing. Even then, now with social media, it's like, oh, beach pictures, and it's like, just put your phone down and actually enjoy it versus looking at it through a
Mm,
screen. But it's like, oh, that meal, like I went for a seafood dinner, or this
mm,
amazing pasta dinner, and oh, it's amazing, it was incredible. Sure, you're present then, but you eat every day.
mm,
You eat something every day that you put in your body. So what's the energy? The food's going in, energy going in. Like, there's no argument that food is energy, right? Like, how you're fueling
mm,
your body is energy. This is like
mm-hmm,
science.
mm,
What is the energy behind that if you're not even, like, consciously there to receive it?
yeah.
What
Yeah.
are you telling your
And the same
body?
with that is like if you imagine with when you're with other people, if you're having time with someone else and we're interacting, if I wasn't, this actually happened to us the other day. when you called me, or I called
Mm.
you, I can't remember. You called, and I was working at the same time, and because I was in that creative flow that I'd been struggling to get into, I was like, I didn't stop working, and you were there on my phone talking to me, telling me about your day. I wasn't present with you. I was like, yeah, yeah, and I was listening with one ear and doing this thing on the other, and then afterwards, and then you had to go, and then we both messaged, and it was like, yeah, and I said as well, I was like, I wasn't present with you at that moment. So it's the same thing with people and interactions. Are you present with people because you're receiving energy from them? You're giving energy to them. Are you actually aware of what's going on? And often, if we're not present, that's often also when firstly, you don't appreciate the good energy of great people around you and receive that with gratitude and grace in the moment and really enjoy that and share that. And secondly, you also can very often take a lot of bad energy from people and not realize because you're not present of what's going on and how is it making me feel and whatever. And so yeah, that energy exchange between people is huge.
And
And if
because
you're
you're
not
still alive,
present,
because you're
yeah,
still alive and everything's still functioning, your frequencies are still,
yeah,
it's like until you turn a radio, like a signal off,
yeah,
no matter, even if there's nothing being sent across, there is a
yeah,
frequency flow.
yeah, yeah, exactly,
And
exactly.
something you mentioned, I wrote down actually just really quickly, is a problem that I
Hmm.
think now in the corporate world and in our lives is that the better of a multitasker you are, the better of a
Oh,
person you are. And I'm not going to lie, took pride for such a long time at being able to multitask a crap load of stuff. Like
mm,
I can multitask like a freaking juggler. You know what I
mm,
mean?
mm,
Now I look at it and I'm like, that's not a good thing
no. And it actually doesn't
because
work, by the way.
multitasking,
Yeah.
it works to a certain as a means to an end in a
Mm,
lot of, it depends on the, if it's just like, it depends on the
yeah,
task, right? I think
yeah.
to a means to an end it does work,
Mm,
doesn't mean that, if it's a project that you're going to deliver your 100%, like
no,
if you can you can't multitask
no,
and be present in what you're doing because
no.
you're not.
Because you're not, because you're just constantly jumping around. So there's an exercise that they do that I've done. It's a really good one to do with people. It's to show you how multitasking doesn't work, or how it doesn't work well for your brain, and how it actually causes you more problems. Because we think it means we're going to get more done and we're going to, be faster. But the exercise is something like um, you tell people to write the word multitask, and then you time them. How long does it take you to write MULIT? Write it down. Then you say to them, underneath that, write a number under each letter. So M is 1, U is 2, so on, so on, so on, till you get to the end of the word, and you time them. Then you say to them, right now, do write the number, then the letter, then the number, then the letter, then the so M1, U2, L3. Even me trying to do it in my head is like, and then you notice how much longer it takes because you're switching. And so this is the thing. And imagine you're doing that at work, switching between 3, 4 different things at once. The
Mm.
brain does not do that actually that well. And you think it's good, but it's really not. And so, like you say, that presence and focus on one thing and giving it your energy is really, really powerful. I'm just
I
going
got
to
a
read a
comment.
comment. Yeah. Neela. By the way, I keep saying Neela. I may well be saying your name wrong. Is it Nyla? Because I feel like actually I know someone who's called Nyla and it is spelled like that. So I'm sorry if I've been saying Neela when it's Nyla.
Can you
She says,
write out
t-
your dictionary type pronunciation for your name, please?
today I had an argument about that, about how the phone can suck our attention. I tell you, the phone is basically the matrix and it sucks you in. And this is the thing I've noticed, and you guys should do this. When you've spent a lot of time on your phone, just pay attention to what it feels like when you look up from your phone. So, say you've been on you don't even have to spend a lot of time on it, but you're just engrossed in something, and then just look
Mm.
up and notice the shift in your consciousness. Because for me, it's very stark. It's like I've literally just woken up. I'm like on the phone and I'm asleep, and then I wake up and I look around. I'm like, whoa, here's the world. Here's where I am. Here's me actually living. And imagine you spend all day looking into that screen. It's like it saps your consciousness, it saps your energy, draws it into the screen, into this virtual reality that's on there. And you're not present in the world. And I think, as much as I love tech and what it allows us to do, I think it's really bad for our brains, to be honest. Too much of it, I think it's really unhealthy.
Lorna,
And where are we at? These comments are so small on Instagram that I can't even read them. They should really sort that out. Lorena. Oh, okay.
Lorena. Hi,
And
Lorena.
Neil
Oh,
Isla is my artistic name. Lorena. Okay, awesome.
I
Darling, I
just
love
have to
that
do
name.
a headphone switch. Give me a second.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I can hear myself. Yes, I think Lorena is agreeing. Let's just see what Auntie is saying as well. Living is exchange of energy with yourself or in the moment. Okay. Living is an exchange of energy within yourself or in the moment. Absolutely. It's everything is energy. And this is why I think, a lot of the work I do on myself with my trainings, with my teachings, it's everything ends up coming back down to energy first and foremost. Like you can do the stuff in your mind, you can do the stuff with your behaviors. That's all very good, but the root of existence is energy. So why not go to the root and master your energy first and foremost? Because everything is then born out of that. So if your energy is scattered because you're throwing 50 pebbles at once, if your energy is sucked into the phone, if your energy is being all distorted with people that, maybe you don't want to really be around, if your energy is whatever because you're dreaming of the past, future, whatever, manage that first. Once you hone your energy, everything else follows from that. So then you don't have to worry about then what do I think and how do I behave, because it will naturally flow from having your energies in a more pure, aligned, powerful, present state.
Mm.
Um,
You know, we
so,
say cross the bridge. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. And it's almost
yeah.
like, well, why is it you're going to cross certain bridges when you get to it and other
uh,
bridges you're willing to cross in your mind, like, 24 million years before it
Yeah,
happens?
and the bridges that might not even happen anyway.
Right?
Most of
Like,
them,
how do you
most
even
of
know there's going to be a bridge? There might not even be a bridge. You might not even get to that bridge. Do you know what I mean? So
no,
like,
but
but
I
you're
have
already
to I
going to
have to figure out what I'm going to
pre-plan
do if that bridge comes.
in case there's a bridge. And what if the bridge is open? Huh? What if there's no entry on that bridge that day? What are you going to do? Like,
Oh, it's
I
so
don't know. Did you
funny.
plan for that? Did you? It's just
It's
it's
really
brain
futile when you think
tricks.
about it. Yeah,
Brain
brain
tricks.
tricks. Brain tricks. I like
Really,
that.
it is. It's brain
Yeah.
tricks, right? And it's like you stop the brain tricks by just going, well, I'm going to use my brain even if and that's the, oh my god, and that's the beauty of it is that you can use your brain
Yeah.
along with your everything else to be here now,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just by starting to observe little things without
Mm.
like because you might be in a room and looking around, right? But you see nothing.
Mm. So true.
Your your eyes might be open and you see nothing.
Mm.
Smells are a bit more, a bit
Mm.
more hard to ignore, but
Mm.
like in our visualization today, smelled
Mm.
something smelled like strawberries. The universe felt
Nice.
like strawberries. Weird,
Yeah.
but smells are a bit more hard. They're more like slap in the face, especially if you're imagine like in a smell like in a garbage disposal in a
Yeah.
recycling, dumpster area. That's just gonna hit you hard.
Yeah.
But just like that, things that are around you might not come with a strong odor or a strong smell or a strong anything else, but without actually now telling your brain to look at it, to smell it, to feel it, to taste it, to
Mm.
like what is have you ever like what does air taste like? And there's just times where I'm like, ooh, it's cold today. Like I can actually taste the cold in the air, like there's snow outside and like the air feels different. Has anyone noticed that? Like when the
Yeah.
air just tastes and smells different. Like when
Yeah.
it rains, what does it
Yeah.
smell like?
Yeah. Oh, I love that smell.
Oh,
Yeah.
freshly cut
Yeah.
grass. Like there's
Grass.
smells we
Yeah.
love. There's smell we
Yeah.
but smells like I said are different. And it's just what are you doing right now? Like
Mm.
literally
Mm.
ask yourself, like be like,
Mm.
what am I actually like, okay, I'm
I
sitting.
think.
Just like the really obvious, like I'm sitting right now. I
Yeah.
am picking up a book. I am working on
Yeah.
my computer.
Yeah.
Right, just present
And
moment.
what's going on inside you, not in a sense of like daydreaming stuff, but again, what am I feeling in my body right now, what emotion am I feeling right now, and just getting present with your internal experience as well as your external. And I think one of the things that, like you said, you're in a room but you're not looking. I think because, for example, we tend to stay in the same environment most often, obviously, so then we become immune to it, we become blind to it. And, imagine everyone's just been sitting in their houses for so long. But I think actually being in different environments is really important to help you become present, because it will make you want to look at things outside of you that are around you and pay more attention, because you're looking at things that you don't normally see. But when you're just in the same room all the time, same house, you don't see everything is just the same. So maybe it's really important actually to go into new environments, travel and see things, because it lights up your senses and your presence, which again anchors you into the present moment of life.
Yeah.
And Lorena says, thank you. You're welcome, darling.
Thank you for watching
We
and
have
being with
been
us.
going for just over an hour now. So
And
I
just to
feel
add
like,
one sentence to what you just said, just to finish it off, sorry,
mm,
is that just goes back to exactly that thing about like how can you operate a vehicle without actually being present, and it's using your mind even to remind you and
mm,
remind yourself of
mm,
like how can I, yes, I might be in the same environment, yes, I might be, like work, some people go to work every single day and they are in the same office, they're in the same cubicle, they're in the same area,
mm,
and so I know people that are like, oh, I gotta just like imagine myself on a beach or imagine myself
mm,
here. There's nothing wrong with imagining that, but also take notice of, you know, that present moment, of how you
mm,
feel in that present moment. If nothing's
mm,
changed and your desk is the same, change something. Right? It might
mm,
be it might be a motivation to be like, oh, everything. Why do people paint their houses? Why do people make zen areas? Why do people do that? So that the energy of being in that space is
mm,
heightened, because it
mm,
might be the same thing every single day, right? I'm going through a bedroom change right now because I'm like, yo, I need to change where I work from because I can't work like this. It's the same stuff every day.
mm.
And so
I
in
think,
order to do that, I add things that are
yeah.
going to then I can sit here and be like, wow, that fountain's amazing. Okay, stop looking at the fountain after a while, change it somewhere else and be like, oh wow, I didn't notice that. Whatever it is, right?
Mm,
But
yeah.
make it so that you can be present. Give
Mm,
yourself the gift
mm,
of being present.
mm. I think also having different things around you is really good for your creativity as well,
Hmm.
and mixing things up. I was watching a video by a lady, businesswoman, entrepreneur, and she said that like when she does her writing, she likes to go to different places, sit in a different chair, sit by a different window, or go out somewhere, because the environment does have an effect on you. I know a lot of what we're talking about is, and what we're trained in with intuition and magic and alchemy is that, the environment doesn't matter, because the circumstances don't create your reality, you create your reality. And I totally agree with that. But I think at the same time, you can't deny the fact that you are part of your environment, where you do live in a physical world. And so part of your energy is affected like that. If you're throwing a pebble into a pond full of gunk and dirt, it's going to have a different effect than if you're throwing it into a nice pristine. I like that movement, very good. That's
Being
Rita
gunky
being
dirt.
Rita being a gunky, dirty pond. Nice, you got skills, man. um, but yeah, like if you're throwing it into a crystal clean lake in Banff, you're going to get a different type of experience, right? So the environment is important. I think it
Even
is
the
really
demeanor of
important.
just being pristine, clear water versus gunk and dirt changes. So
Yeah,
that changes, it's like, eh.
yeah,
And then
exactly.
it's like, oh, so graceful, It's true.
I love
Go
it,
for a
but it
pebble.
is true. It is very
Go
true.
for it.
Ree says it's 11:11. Make a wish.
You missed it.
Oh,
Not
yeah, I
not
missed it.
not in
But
the
anyway,
UK.
not in the UK. 11. Hey, darling, what I'm thinking is let's start. If you want, I feel we could pull a
Yep,
card.
I think so.
Do you want to do a lesson of the session just
I
to wrap
do.
up what we've discussed?
I think so.
We'll do
Mostly.
lesson of the session, and then what we're going to do is we pull cards. I've got angel cards. I've got some others, but I think I'll go with these today. Rhea and I usually pull one for each other and maybe ask a question, but we also pull them for people watching if you would like one. So if you have a question or an intention, or would just like a general reading, let us know and we will do that for you. So let's first of all wrap up with lesson of the
Every time
session.
she says that, I feel like it's so rehearsed and like perfect. I
What's
love
that?
it. What? Nothing. You
What
were
is it?
listening?
Huh?
So if you'd like one, we'd be happy to pull one for you.
Oh, I don't even know what I'm saying, but I don't know, it's fine.
Because you're not present?
I'm not present. I am present.
You go ahead.
Oh, lesson of the session.
Hmm.
Lesson of the session. Lesson of the session for me is the lesson of the session is again how setting an intention really does create, because we set our intentions at the start, which was around being present with what is strength and power, and that really just took us on an amazing roll down the road of understanding what those things really mean. So if we didn't set that intention, who knows what kind of stuff we would have ended up doing on this session.
Because we
So
do
my
go
lesson,
into stuff.
we do. But my lesson of the session is that, like, the importance of setting intentions. And lesson of the session in terms of what we discussed is the one that sticks with me is one pebble, not 10.
I
One
like
pebble,
that.
not 10.
I like that.
Yeah,
My lesson of the
I'm
session
gonna write that
was
down.
that, yes, do write that down. I'll give you
Mhm.
a second. My lesson of the session is pretty much that realization of you know, the overall, if you're not living, where are you?
Mm.
Right? And if you're not living, where are you? If you're not living, what are you doing? Was that it? If you're not living,
If you're
what are you
not
doing?
present, where are you? Oh, no, if you're
If
not
you're not,
living
if you're not
present.
here, if you're not living, if you're not here now, I don't know. But you guys
It
get
was
it.
that though, yeah.
It's if you're
If you're
not
not here
here.
now, present, living, dead, after yesterday, tomorrow, then past, future, living, you're dead, maybe past, living, then where are you?
That's a
Who wouldn't
great
understand
that's
that?
a great summary of everything. I understand that, obviously, but also that your life is your vehicle,
Mm,
and in order to operate any vehicle,
mm,
you need to be present,
mm-hmm,
because if you don't, then you will
mm,
crash, and
yep.
your crashes can be whatever you call them, but
Mm,
life is your vehicle. So,
mm.
you know,
Nice.
drive with cautious, and drive with cautious.
Drive with cautious. Drive with cautious, everybody. Rita said drive with cautious. Not with caution. Drive with cautious. Different. It's different. Don't get it twisted.
It's different. It's different. It's definitely. Oh yeah, I teach English, everybody. Drive with caution, and be present. Be present when you're driving your vehicle. That's all.
Be present. Drive with cautious and be present. All right, darling.
Definite cautious. Go ahead.
Okay, right.
Do we
Do
have
you want me
anyone
to?
who would like a
What do,
card
what
first?
do we what?
Anyone want a card? Just it's that time, folks. Welcome to the Re and P
I'm
show,
not
where
sure
we
how
try to
much
do live.
energy I've got left. My brain is. I think we gave a lot to that topic, and I loved it, and it gave me a lot. So I'm like, all right, let's just card now, and then I've got to go have a cup of tea. So Ree, would you like me to get one for you first, and would you like to ask a question, or would you like a general
I
message?
usually like a general message. It's nothing. I've given up questions. Is that weird? I don't have questions.
You don't have questions.
I don't have questions.
Okay, that's fine. No, you don't have to have questions.
I don't. I'm like, yeah, give it. I'll take it. Give it.
Do you know I've had two cards fall out, and I've done the thing that you're not supposed to do, which is I put them
Oh,
back in.
P, put them both out and just read
I
them.
don't know where they've gone now. Okay, now I've got focus. I've got
Is there anyone
focus.
else who'd like
I
a
need to
card?
just get rid
Let's
of my
see.
resistance, because my resistance is saying, well, it's got to be logical, right? So the message that you get from here for Ree has got to be something that really makes sense and is related to everything that we've just done, because that's what those magical moments are, right? When you're like, oh, it's so true. But that's just my brain, not true spirit or in the unknown. So if I venture into the unknown and pluck a card for Ree, what do I get in the unknown? I get this one. Okay, let's go with it. Learning experience. Learning experience is what I get with Re. So, what's obvious to me about that is really just the message of the entirety of our lives, and that you are realizing that more and more every single day, that absolutely every single moment that you go through is a learning experience. In fact, the entirety of your journey is a school, the entirety of your life is a learning experience. You're not here to get results on a test, and you're not here to have to do certain things. You're here to learn and grow in your soul, in your spirit, in your energy. And every lesson that you have is pointing you towards creating more and more light within you, becoming more and more light, becoming more and more one with your light, with your soul, with your energy, with your pure consciousness. So every single lesson is continually taking you back to that and illuminating all aspects of your consciousness, your ego, your life, your experiences, your visions, what you truly want, your heart, your soul, everything. Everything is just a lesson and a learning experience, shedding more and more light of what it means to be and you're taking that and assimilating that and growing and nurturing. And you really are at a point in your life where you're realizing that you can see absolutely every eventuality as a learning experience. And it's all taking you back home. It's all taking you back home to your light, to your truth, to your power, to who you truly are, to your soul, to your true nature and purpose. And really, that's just what it is. Like, that's it. That's the journey. That's the journey. And I think that you are very sure of that, or becoming more and more sure of that as you go through.
You know, as soon as before you even spoke, that's exactly what I got, is that
Mm,
every one of these lives, like I learned so much today. I learned so much from our conversation last night, you
mm,
know, and I just even seeing like how much easier it is to just sometimes you give the advice and you realize you need that advice yourself, right? But it's just being aware of taking that too, and just, you know, just like what we talked about
mm.
in our private conversation. But just realizing that sometimes the advice you give is the advice you need to take, and
Yeah.
you know, and learning comes in all shapes, sizes, and angles, and it's all learning.
Hmm.
It's all learning. So yeah, that's exactly what I got. Thank you.
Good. You're welcome. So you can
All
do one
right.
for. Oh no, you are we gonna do one for ourselves as well? Are you gonna do one for you
Yeah.
as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
do one for you, and then we'll go to me.
All right. Let's see. I just keep dropping cards. I think today I'm just gonna do a random pick.
Just want to see. Oh no, sorry, we're doing it for you, aren't we? Yeah.
This one. I'm gonna look
Uh-huh.
at it. Joy.
Joy. Oh, look at that picture. That's cute.
Popcorn makes me happy. To enjoy something.
Does it say you have to be present?
No. Yeah.
Does it-
To enjoy something, I simply need to add joy to it. Joy is like
Mhm.
butter. I can put it on anything and I'll make it way better. Today, I will add joy to everything, really slather it on. Today, I am the Orville Redenbacher of joy, and life's popcorn is about to get it.
Mm. So what does that mean to you?
Exactly what it says. Like every moment of being present. And if you're present, you can't be upset. I mean, you can be upset and you
Mm-hmm.
can be unhappy and you can be whatever emotion it is that you're feeling in that moment. I mean, for me, it's a lot more, there's a lot more learning in that area where I've learned that, you know, feelings, thoughts, and feelings aren't real. It goes a lot deeper. I mean, they're real, but they're only momentary, right? They're affected by different things that aren't actually happening in the exact present moment. Once they've
Mm,
happened, they're gone. So now I'm sitting with this emotion, which is actually because of something in the past. Wow.
mm,
So I mean, feeling the joy of just experiencing sadness, happiness, you know, all kinds
mm,
of different loves, because the unknown and the pure places, like you said, where we come from. And for me, being able to actually experience and live, like really live, uh, is just becoming so much more important.
mm-hmm.
And really just driving that vehicle in that moment of every second of, you know, seeing the red lights and the green lights and the stop signs and the all of those exact things that come with being present when you're driving
Mm,
is really starting to, it is in a way, not in a way, it's actually really joyful. Like I've been laughing to
mm,
myself a lot more and just being like, wow, you know, I did this right now, or this song is playing
mm,
right now, and this is how I
mm,
feel right now. And embracing when I'm upset about something, and realizing why I'm upset about something and then feeling it. Do you
mm,
understand what feeling, like how joyful it is to just feel? Of course, it's joyful to feel joyful, but it's also in a way joyful to feel, you know, pain, like we're physically going through physical emotional pain. Like wow, like
mm,
we go through these things, and it's just it's miraculous, and just kind
mm,
of basking in that, like holy wow, almost like very very like wow. I, you know, whether you're on a trip or a mushroom trip or whatever, when everything is heightened, right? But then just actually realizing that everything is heightened when you just feel it.
mm.
It's joyful.
I love it.
Mm.
I really like your analogy there of like as you're going in the car, okay, I've got a red light. I'm gonna be present with that red light right now. I'm
You
gonna
have
stop
to.
and I saw it. Okay. Then you start moving again. Oh, green light. Great. I'll keep going. There's a green light. I saw it. I've acknowledged it. I can see it. I'm going through it. Oh, I've got to turn left. Oh, I've got to go roundabout. That's life. But we don't want to see the red light. Oh,
And we don't want to see
dang
the
red
person
light.
turning in front of us, you know.
Right.
We
No,
don't want to
they're
drive
going
with
ahead of
cautious.
us. No, I'm too scared to take the turn. Wow. Yeah, no, that's a great analogy. All
Thank
right,
you.
cool. Okay, go. Can you do one for me and then I'll do one for me? So, do I have a
Mhm.
question? Do I have a question?
We're loving these hour-and-a-half sessions.
I know.
It's great.
It's funny because before we started, I was like, "Oh, I'm so tired. Maybe we'll just do an hour today." I was like, "Are you dumb? Do you not know Ree? Have you not known her for 16 years? Have you ever spoken for any less than like an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours?"
And there you were already planning the future instead of just being present with.
Present, right? And imagine if I'd spent the whole session being like, "Oh, I'm tired. I've got to go. I was tired this morning. And then we wouldn't have done what we did. So, um, okay. Do I have a question? No. Just give me a general wisdom and insight for the current present moment.
Wisdom and insight for the current present moment. This one comes to mind. Connection.
Okay.
Connection. And they're penguins.
Oh, I love penguins.
I'm connected to the multitudes and I can access their support at any time. Even a stranger offers a sense of comfort when they smile at me or make a dumb comment about the weather. Everyone is waiting to connect. All I need to do is open myself up and pay attention. Note to self, work on witty banter about weather related stuff. What's obvious to me about this card, and I'm also getting drawn to pick another card, but I will in a second. But what's obvious to me about this card is what we just talked about. Without being present,
Mm.
and I'm going to connect this card to our conversation today and also to a lot of stuff that's coming up, is that without being connected to ourselves,
Mhm.
and it's almost a disconnected because we're now connected to a situation,
Mm.
right? But the situation is just situational, right? It's just a momentary lapse in time and space that doesn't actually exist, but you are going to continue to exist beyond, besides, despite of that situation. So really, in order to connect with the divine, in order to connect with the higher consciousness, in order to really connect with yourself and how you're feeling and what you want, you need to be present and you need to be in that energy of being one with yourself. And
Mm.
I think this is more about connection to your truth than
Mhm.
connection to anyone else. And even though this talks a little bit about, connecting to other people, when you're connected to yourself, the connection to other people is automatically going to come. And then you're going to be able to see whether that charge is positive, whether that charge is negative. You're going to be able to feel the kind of energy you're getting off those people, but also you're going to have control of your own energy without giving it up to someone else. So you're going to be able to control what you're feeling in that time, in that moment, in that awareness, what sense of energy, what kind of energy you are basking in, or what kind of energy you're bringing to it, without your energy being overpowered by the other person's energy, right? And in order to kind of keep your own energy for yourself, right, without sharing it to just every damn person, you need to be present. You need to be aware. You need to be in the moment to know where you're at.
Mm.
Because without knowing where you're at, without knowing what your what where you're going to land as that pebble,
Mm.
right, or where you're landing as that pebble, there's going to be no ripples, right? There's going to be no ripple effect. There's just going to be, you know multiple pebbles. There's going to be a multitude of ripple effects, which is
Mm.
going to actually stop your energy from flowing the way it wants it to. So in order to connect to the past and the future and the present, it all lies within the present, and it all lies within that energy, and knowing that nothing else matters in the future situation. This is it. Nothing matters in the future or in a given situation that may happen because of things that may have been said, because right now that's not happening. And
Mm.
it's crossing that bridge when you get there, and it's being able to make a connection with truly your higher self. And it says everyone is waiting to connect. Everyone is waiting to connect on many different levels, but unless you're connected with yourself,
Mm.
oh my God, it's a fake connection, right? Because if you're not living in that moment of connection with yourself, then what part of you is connecting to other people? You don't even
It's like,
know.
yeah. Sorry, I
Yeah,
shouldn't
go ahead.
interrupt your flow. No, I was just gonna say I get like you can be on 2G or you can be on 5G or whatever,
Mm.
and it's kind of like on those lower levels when you're unclear and you're not settled, and you're like on the lower. I'm on freaking dial-up half the time. Some of you may not be old enough to know what we mean by dial-up internet, but often my connection is dial-up internet because I'm not in my power and I'm not in that presence. But what I get from that card as well, just a little bit, is that also, getting focused on myself from an egoic perspective and then not actually appreciating other people. Like you say, the little comments, the little chats in the coffee shop, the people in my life, I'm not present with them when and I'm not enjoying that interaction in the present moment because I'm too self-absorbed in my own head with my own stuff. And actually those interactions are so precious, and they
And
are what makes so much life, and they are so amazing, and they are absolute gifts. And if I'm not present, I just take them for granted. I don't really acknowledge them, I don't really enjoy them or appreciate them or really savor them. And that actually is an important lesson because as you know about some of the stuff going on for me, I've got all these things of me, 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 me. I need this, I need that, I want this. Actually, there's other people in my life who are really important. Savor your moments with them, your connection with them. That's what's important, not your little ideas of what your ego thinks you need and want. So that is
then
very.
when you do, as soon as you actually connect with yourself, which is what you
Mm,
did yesterday, and
mm,
as soon as you connect with yourself, there's an automatic connection with the other person that may be
exactly.
involved in the situation because you see their truth. Because in that
Mm,
energy, it
mm,
changes because you're present. You're not
yeah,
in that shitty situation. So in the
yeah,
present moment,
yeah.
it
And
changes.
when you connect to yourself, what we mean is it's the higher self, right? It's true self. It's all of it. It's not your little ideas in your head and whatever, whatever. It's like really what's going on. Good. Yeah. No. Good. Thank you.
Sorry, I
So
had one more.
you can
I
do one
just
more.
yeah,
Okay.
I ha 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 ha
Confidence. I don't think we've done that
ha.
one before, have
I don't
we?
think so.
Oh.
It's a refrigerator
Okay.
with a picture of a little girl on it. It's kind of fun.
Okay.
Um, in this moment, I take a step back and look at myself with pride of a with the pride of a good mother. I was like, wait a minute. With the pride of a good mother. I see an abundance of abilities and talents that show up all the time in big and little ways. If I could stick myself on a refrigerator, I would. I would invite all the neighbors over and say, look at that. Can you believe what an A plus that is? Honestly, I'm just going to say one thing to this, and this is more for you than anyone else watching. But what's coming up for me is that you have the tools, you have it in you to do exactly what you need to do. You know the answers to what you need to do. And if you just let it be and
Mm.
become present and just know that you just believe that you have the confidence and are
Mm.
confident that you have the confidence,
Mm.
it's all going to be it's all going to work out in the way
Thank
it's
you.
meant to.
Can you take a photo of that one for me?
Hmm.
And I'm going to pull one for myself, and then I think we're good to go. It fell out the pack, so I'm just going to go with it. No,
Yes, 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 yes,
just
yes.
says no. It just says no. What is obvious to me about that is actually, it's what I get is it's saying no to my lower nature. It's saying no to my ego. It's letting all of that stuff fall away from me that I've been clinging on to for so long. It's saying no to the parts of me that are like, oh, you're not good enough. Oh, you're rubbish. Oh, you're this. And like, oh, all my insecurities, all my issues, all my needs to control. It's really about once I let go of the weight of that, that's when my wings will start to flourish and I can actually start to fly. But to get there, I have to say no to the caterpillar me in order to become the butterfly me. And so it's not about saying no to anything other than the little ego in my little brain, the little child me that still thinks that she's at war with the world and she's not safe and she doesn't belong and all those other things that I have, which all have our various, egoic identity stuff and limitations and fears. It's about saying no and saying no, thank you. It's not a horrible no. It's a gentle, no, thank you. I'm done with that now. We've lived that way for 38 years. we're done. We're done now. It's okay. You can hang out, but no, you don't drive. I drive. You're not driving my car and directing my life. I'm driving my car and directing my life. And we're going in a new direction, and we're going into our highest potential, and we're going into the realms of the unknown and pure consciousness and wonderfulness and possibility, into our heart, our soul, our truth, and what we're really here to create and express. And to do that, I have to say no to all the old parts of me that have taken the steering wheel for my life so far. Um, so that is what I get from that.
Mm.
Anything to add?
No.
Good. So we have
We'll
a
end
little
it with
what's
another
this?
stretch. Oh, that's
Just had a
Jerry.
little. Jerry says, "Hi, Ari and Pinky. Hello, Jerry."
Do you know who Jerry
Sorry,
is?
you wrote that a few minutes ago, did you?
10
Actually,
minutes
no,
ago.
not that. Yeah, not too bad. Yes, sorry. Hope you didn't think we weren't ignoring you. Do I know who Jerry is?
It's my brother's friend from Charlotte.
Okay. I
Yeah.
don't think I do know you, Jerry, but it's lovely to meet you here. Thanks for joining, and hope you enjoyed whatever you caught us talking about. And do come back and watch us again. And these are all posted on the internet. So I think I feel like you're about to say some prose, preach some wisdom to close. I feel like you've got something. I don't know. You just look like you're ready. Like I've got some last lines of
I was just
wisdom
gonna
to just
say,
drop, and then we're gonna.
I was gonna say that I had this feeling that we may be back next week, but I don't know. But for
Okay.
now, I'm just gonna live in the moment.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I have no idea. And I will just say thank you, everybody who's joined us. Thank you for the
Thank you,
comments.
thank
Thank you
you,
for
thank you.
sharing. Thank you for sharing the energy. And thank you for watching this later if you do that. And if you have not already, do make sure you're connected to us and subscribe to us. We have a channel called ReMP on YouTube. We also have our own Facebook pages, and we are on obviously the Instagram. So you're more than welcome to connect with us. And
I feel like I
anything
should be
else?
saying that in the beginning. I feel like if any YouTube video I've watched, people start with that.
Probably. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do this. Seriously.
Thanks, everyone.
I
Enjoy
literally
your
don't have a clue.
Wednesday. I'm not going to
Thanks,
wish you a happy
peeps.
week because I want you to enjoy today. I mean, enjoy the week
Happy
too, but enjoy
present
today.
moment.
Happy
Happy
present
present
moment.
moment.
What did you get me for Christmas? I got you a present moment. Aha! Bye,
Yeah,
everyone.
we're definitely closing now. Thanks. Bye.